Dot was a princess. Her mother was queen of all the ants. But Dot did not feel like she fit in with the other ants. Her only friend was an inventor named Flick. Flick's inventions usually didn't work, but Dot didn't care. She thought he was great. One day, Flick was showing off his latest invention, a grain harvester. Just pick grain like everyone else, Flick, Dot's sister Princess Ada said. We don't have time for that. Ada was worried about the grasshoppers. She knew they would be there any minute to demand their share of the ants' food. I'm never going to make a difference, Flick groaned. Me neither. I can't even fly yet, Dot sighed. Flint picked up a rock. Pretend this is a seed, he told Dot. Give it time and it will be a tree. Give yourself time. Dot looked at the rock. You're weird, she said, but I like you. Just then the alarm sounded. The grasshoppers are coming, the queen cried. The ants quickly finished piling the grain up for the grasshoppers. Then they dashed into their hill to hide. As Flick made his way to the hill, his harvester bumped the grain pile. The kernels rolled away and disappeared. The next thing the ants knew, the grasshoppers burst through their ceiling. Where's my food? Their leader Hopper snarled. Hopper grabbed Dot. If he didn't get it soon, he warned, someone would get hurt. Leave her alone, Flick yelled, bravely stepping up. Glaring, Hopper put Dot down. I want double the order of grain, he hissed, by the time the last leaf falls. The ants didn't know what to do. How could they get that much food? Just then, Flick had an idea. We could get bigger bugs to fight the grasshoppers, he said. I'll go to the city and find them. The ant council agreed to let Flick try, but they did not think his plan would work. Only Dot had faith in the inventor. With Flick gone, the rest of the colony got to work, harvesting. They did not get far before Flick returned with a whole team of big, strong-looking bugs. Flick, I knew you could do it, Dot cheered. But what neither of them knew was that Flick's warriors were really circus bugs. They thought he liked their act and wanted them to do a show. Flick was shocked when he learned the truth. You said you were gonna knock the grasshoppers dead, he yelled. You said you were a talent scout, Manny, a praying mantis magician replied. The bugs wanted to leave, but Flick begged them to stay. He hated to think what the colony would say if they discovered his mistake. Suddenly, Flick saw something that made him panic even more. A bird had appeared behind them. It lunged hungrily for the bugs. Run! Flick yelled. The bugs ran for their lives, but there was one bug who did not see the bird. Dot was happily sailing through the air on a dandelion pluff, unaware of the danger. The bird lunged at Dot. It missed her and got the dandelion fluff instead. Dot tried to flap her tiny wings, but she was still too young to fly. The little princess plunged helplessly toward the earth. Francis, the circus ladybug, saw her and took off. I've got you, he called as he caught Dot in his arms. Flick and the other bugs distracted the bird so Francis and Dot could get away. When Dot was safe, the bugs hid in a prickly thorn bush until the bird gave up its chase. Suddenly, outside the bushes, they heard a strange thundering sound. What's that? Asked Heimlich the caterpillar. Flick couldn't believe it. It was applause. The circus bugs had saved Dot. The ants thought they were heroes. Not every bug would face a bird, Princess Attica told Flick, impressed. Even Hopper's afraid of them. Flick blushed. As he did, an idea popped into his head. That's it, he thought. They could build a fake bird and use it to scare Hopper and his grasshopper gang away from Ant Island for good. With the circus bug's help, Flick presented his idea to the Ant Council. They approved it right away. The ants and the circus bugs worked day and night building the bird out of leaves and twigs. They couldn't wait for the grasshoppers to come. They were sure their fake bird would scare their enemies away for good. The next day, the alarm sounded, but it wasn't the grasshoppers who set it off. It was the circus master, P.T. Flea. He was looking for his performers. The circus bugs tried to hide, but it was no use. Their pictures were all over P.T.'s wagon. For the first time, the ants realized the bugs weren't warriors at all. Princess Atta was furious with Flick. "You lied to us," she said. All the faith she had in Flick and the circus bugs quickly died away. "I want you and your friends to leave," she told Flick, "and this time, don't come back." Dot felt awful. She still believed in Flick and the circus bugs. She wanted to go with them, but her mother, the queen, forbade her. Soon the grasshoppers arrived. When Hopper saw how little food had been collected, he flew into a rage. He took the queen prisoner and put the other ants to work. "Work them till they're dead," Dot heard one grasshopper say. "Then we squish the queen." Dot knew that Flick and the circus bugs were the colony's only hope. She had to bring them back. "You gotta help us," Dot told Flick when she found him. "Hopper's gonna squish my mom." Flick didn't think he could help, but Dot knew how to inspire him. The little princess showed Flick a stone. "Pretend it's a seed," she said. Flick smiled and gave her a hug. Flick and the circus bugs raced back to the colony. They climbed into the tree where the fake bird had been stowed. The grasshoppers cowered as Flick steered it towards them until the bird crashed and burned. Flick knew Dot was counting on him. He stood up to Hopper. The grasshopper chased after him, but Flick headed towards the real bird's nest. There, Hopper met his end at last. That winter, the ants had plenty of food. When spring came, the circus bugs decided it was time to move on. Dot was sorry to see the circus bugs go, but glad that Flick stayed. From then on, he was the colony's official inventor, and more important, he was Dot's best friend. The end.